play.
Sorry, I'm eating oranges. We're live with some gameplay. First pick Xayah. Xayah was out last game. We saw Yuumi first pick. Kaiser banned here. Kaiser was a big first pick for China in general. They picked it over the Xayah many times. We have a Kayle straight up picked. This might be a Syndra bot lane. Syndra bot lane is very good into Xayah. But usually when you pick the Syndra bot lane, you want to give up the Rakan because Syndra is very good into Rakan as well because you can cancel his shit, right? But let's continue playing here. Kayle blind pick, crazy. Karsa, Lee Sin, a classic. Kayle blind pick, I'm not too sold. Lucian picked here, maybe bottom, probably bottom. Cody Sun on the Lucian. Cody Sun on the APs, not a believer. I'm gonna eat another orange as we let this draft commence. Eat your fruit, eat your vegetables to have energy to review many of these games. Let's take a look what Clutch Gaming can do. This game is going to decide if I review any other Clutch Gaming games at all, because honestly, Clutch Gaming is, for me, a big myth. Not a myth, because no one's really saying that they're going to do much, but I think they're just going to get smackarooed on the noodle. Yeah. Lucian, probably bought, yeah, we talked about that. Alistair ban. Is that the coach? No, that's a translator right there, with a bling around the neck. Leona Alistar. Morgana still open. A Ming special. Most likely he's going to pick Morgana, but I don't like Morgana too much into Lucian. Depends on how Lucian can play, but Uzi Ming is going to win bot. Like, they just understand bot lane on a whole nother level. Look, Cody Sun is sweating, man. He's sweating. Okay, interesting to pick Nocturne into these picks. Nocturne is fine into the jungle matchup here. I like Royal Never Give Up banning Elise because that's the only champion that I've seen Lyra really function on. I think it's time to bring back the Skarner, Lyra. Bring back the Skarner. Kayle is okay against Skarner, I guess, but just the fact that you pull someone out of position in a lot of cases is good enough. Blitzcrank. Oh! Blitzcrank! Ming doesn't give a fuck, man. Honestly, picking Blitzcrank against Lucian and Rakan and Nocturne, you're not that amazing into these champions. Nocturne, it's fine into Nocturne, honestly. Blitzcrank is fine into Nocturne, because you can deny. Renekton blind pick together with Kayle flex. Do they think that Kayle is good into Syndra? I think this is a very cocky draft here from RNG. Very cocky draft. Unbelievably cocky draft. Very cocky draft. What are you doing? Very cocky. That is crazy. That is crazy. Oh, I don't like the Gnar pick. Because that's... Okay. 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 It's fine into Renekton. Skill matchup, I would say. Jungle dependent matchup. And Lee Sin Renekton doesn't have like a crazy thing going on, you know? They don't have like a crazy synergy. If I'm RNG top laner, I don't know how much Renekton I would love to play because it's a very 2v2 heavy champion. So here, I think definitely Clutch Gaming have a lot of opportunities here in the draft. I don't know how this Renekton and this Nocturne will function because honestly I would not want to ult any target on enemy team. Nocturne is going to have a hard time. Depends if they can make a play, maybe with Flash of Rakan. Commit with Nocturne, one-shot someone. I can see that happen, but there's a lot of tools here on Royal Never Give Up side here to deny Nocturne. But Clutch Gaming's strength has never been their jungle, so let's pay attention to the other parts. Gnar can potentially do very well in this matchup, his jungle. The jungle synergy on the other side is what you need to use in order to kill the Gnar over and over. Usually a Talia, Elise, you one-shot the Gnar. With the Lee Sin Renekton combo, you can buy Ninja Tab, you never get one shot, and you can be safe. So I think this is a very good opportunity here for Huni to show what he's capable of. Huni has been fine this tournament. Even in the games, people criticize him. Oh, he's playing too over-aggressive on Akali. This is something that necessarily you don't need to blame him for because some of the dives that they did with Akali were poorly executed and he was winning a matchup that he shouldn't win. So I have high hopes here for Huni, but I don't have high hopes for Clutch Gaming. Uzi. How cool is Uzi I, man? Uzi I is monstrous. Damonte, who is this? Rodov? What are these guys? Cody's son. Just eating another orange. Langex. It's Xiao Al. He had a very good season before joining RNG. RNG is coming into the top laner with a very decorated top laner. I mean, coming into the tournament with a good top laner for the first time in a very long time. Because Let Me was, you know, he let me down. And honestly, I played against him last year, so I guess he didn't let me down. Because he let Draven cash out, and that game was rough. No level 1 shenanigans. Even with Blitzcrank, no level 1 shenanigans. Maybe I missed something while I was eating an orange, but nothing happened, so who cares? Xiaohu with 50 MR and runes. So this is attack speed, MR, MR. I respect it. I peep it. I like it. It means though the Nocturne's gonna have free food on him. Syndra's gonna look to push. Damonte has a very decent Syndra. I like Syndra. So let's see what he can do in this matchup here in the mid lane. Lera with the solo start on blue. Karsa with the solo start on blue. Very strange solo start on blue with the Lee Singer. Oh, with the aggression. Oh my goodness. Oh. Cody's son with the Prio. Blitzcrank. Not that strong level 1. Oh, with the trades. Clutch Gaming. Clutch Gaming. Let's go. Let's go Clutch Gaming. Huni with the Prio. Last game we saw SKT using Prio in such a beautiful way. But here the tricky part is they don't know the pathing of Lee. Most likely we can predict with RNG that Lee is gonna path into bottom. Because this is something we saw many times. Even when they played the Lees, it was like path into bottom. Path into bottom. Path into bottom. Renekton's not going to be in a dive range. This is Nocturne full clear into taking Crab, into going into bottom side. Maintain that clear speed. Make sure Huni is safe. Huni is also playing on the fact that he's assuming that Lee is pathing into bottom. He has some safe wards. And with this big wave, he feels rather safe. Respectable. I would feel safe too. Big CS advantage here on Huni. Oh... Good dash from Cody's son. They spot Lee Sin in the bottom lane. Very, very good. Huni is taking a lot of damage here. Lot of damage. Can you show us top lane? Oh, whoa, whoa. What's happening, man? Everything is collapsing for CG. Look at this beautiful trade. Okay, boom. They see Karsa and Lang. It's a beautiful trade here. Boom. That looks like a powered up W. Otherwise, it wouldn't make much sense that he did so much damage. A lot of HP loss, but there's a big CS discrepancy here for Huni. Damonte is going low. Maybe we could get a flash situation here. He's gonna flash into the Nocturne. Nocturne, Nocturne, come to life, Nocturne! Nocturne! Oh my goodness, Jahu! Yo, it looks like Leo didn't realize. Yeah, it was. Oh, you're here? You're here. Oh, that's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. That's the best, man. And then Leo's movement changed a bit into downside. Like, holy, this is so fucking close. It's unbelievable. But here, Rahu needs to save his Q. Save your Q, because Damonte needs to flash anyway. Oh, this is disastrous. This is such a Jahu classic, though. And he plays so well, and then he does shit like this. He won the situation already. He was in very good state. And now he threw away a lot of his lead, buys another Null Magic Mantle. He has fucking 75 MR now, or maybe 76, depends if he gains MR per level or something. I don't know about Kale. MR per level is something I can't keep track of because I feel like it changes like the weather, man. Every day it's something new. Every patch is something new. So we saw the trade, boom, boom, Damonte, boom, boom, move speed, smack, corrupting potion, move speed, boom, gin and tonic, boom. I'm laughing at Lira, but maybe he's just a genius. Look how he's positioning. The flash was a bit lame. It's not a good flash from Jahu. Maybe he just can't flash better though. But he chased for such a long time, he has to know that he's going to run into Nocturne, right? If he gets this kill, it is a very big game changer, but it's a big risk he's taking there because he doesn't know the position of Nocturne because he solo started. But he's taking the risk that Nocturne solo start on red. And in a case where he solo started red there, he gets a kill. So I was doing a lot of giggling there. You can understand the thought process of both Lyra and Xiaohui here. Solo start happens very frequently, but to be fair, you know, we're laughing at Karsa pathing into bottom, but most of the time Lyra is going to path into top. So that's it's like, you know, if you make that prediction, assumption coming into the game, okay, they path into top, the odds are they're going to path into top. Okay, from blue into red, this is the position he's going to be in, right? So this is, against CG, the gamble that you should take is that the jungle is going to be on top side. So this decreases the odds of Xiaohu having a successful play here. Both, like a big deal here that Kayle TP'd into mid lane because the wave was freezing. He had to. Damonte could catch. Damonte has TP advantage here. We should pay attention because Damonte should have prio always. If you can use that prio to pressure into sides, it's going to be very good. Good move here from CG to put some deep vision. Karsa is level 5. He's in a good state. While we watch everything pan over here, as maybe there's some contention here on the Raptors. Probably not, because mid situation is not so good for Karsa. Okay, interesting play. I respect it. Lang X with the W. You have the W. W. Oh, that's the one shot. Clothorm not good enough. Damonte with the TP. You're in deep shit now, Damonte. You have no flash, brother. You have no flash. Nocturne's coming in. Lang can't get in range. Renekton ult on. Boom. Everything falls apart here. TP of Syndra was supposed to be an advantage. Turned out not to be an advantage. It was just a disaster. What a cool play here though from Renekton and Lee Sin. You know, RNG are in the head of so many people that you know, they don't expect the gank to happen on top lane. Even though, you know, this doesn't mean that they only camp on bottom. There's been games where they camp on top just to throw some curveballs at the enemy. And Huni is definitely very exposed here. Karsa with some crazy good pathing. He recognized where the ward position was, went around, wasn't spotted by any ward. They looked for the one shot. It was the empowered W auto. Huni flashed, but it was all too late because the Lee Sin Q was on and he was dead, cut in half. Damonte now with the TP, no flash from earlier. Boom. It looks like a game over. It looks like a game over, baby. We look at the bottom situation. Uzi with a natural CS lead somehow. I don't know how. He shouldn't have a lead naturally in this matchup. But it's Uzi and Ming. Who am I to fucking question them? They're too fucking insane. I put him, I don't know, like second on my list or something, Uzi. What a monster. Boom. Empowered W auto. That's a 2-second stun. Flash comes way too late. Damonte with the TP. And they're like, yo, Damonte, what are you smoking, brother? It's not Tanner time, man. It's not Tanner time. And then boom, Lyra's too late. I'm gonna eat my orange. So Huni did not respect his potential gank here. Karsa found a really good timing. Karsa with a great game so far. Lyra had a kill delivered to him. And that's the amount of action that Lyra has contributed to. Let's see if he can do something on level 6. Xiaohu might be a target because he has no flash still. Maybe they can do some combos. Because Xiaohu needs to ult the Syndra ult, and then maybe after Syndra ult they can stun, and then Nocturne can kill. That might be a way in. This Kayle has a lot of MR though, like 80 MR, so he can tank a lot of this damage. He's just scaling for late game, which is a very good approach, honestly. Don't get one shot, don't get too poked, and all is good. You saw what happened when Syndra roamed, she just died. But honestly here, in a lot of cases, Syndra should use her prio to get a lot. So the Renekton Gnar matchup is a very interesting one because it's not the same as a lot of other range matchups. If Renekton can snowball and do a lot of good trades onto the Gnar and walk away with taking less damage than he than he did, then it's not that horrible. And right now he's a bit ahead. He has a Dorian shield ahead of his opponent, and the previous trade was happening when he was level 7 against 6. This is definitely a matchup where Renekton has some windows, especially with Spirit of Sojourn. It's just that here Huni can itemize a lot of armor if he wants to, because there's a Lee Sin jungle there on the other side. Sorcerer Shoes might not be the best buy for Damonte, because enemy mid laner has 90 MR, so he gets absolutely no value from this item. Not a fan, not a fan. Blasting Wand. Maybe it's 10 a time now. BF against BF double longsword. Uzi no E. We don't get to see this matchup bottom too much in this game. You can see already Vulcan, he doesn't have his support item upgraded, while Ming does, in fact, have it because of the coin situation. Lyra gets spotted on a ward. He continues, doesn't give a shit. Karsa is not in position. Did they see Karsa base? Is that why they're committing? Kayle is basing, that's why. So they're just using the fact that Kayle is not in a prior situation. So this is the danger here of picking something like Kayle. Sure, you can lane fine, but you're giving up perma prior. You have no potential at all in the 2v2. So here they're just using the fact that Syndra is coming into mid lane. Kayle is basing because he has no items. He's walking back into the mid lane, they're starting the dragon. Good player from CG. Not the classic 10-minute Rift Herald, instead we have a 9-minute dragon. So not too bad, not too bad. Syndra has Pile, they're going for it. Ming, disturbing. Ming, disturbing, that rhymed, or maybe it didn't. This might be dangerous here from RNG. Very dangerous. Honestly, they should have fought here. Why didn't they fight? Fight! It's a good fight. Snap. Snap. And kill them. Very good fight here. Game-winning situation. Game-winning situation here. But you were silly. You were silly, but look at Cody's son. He's being Biggie Smalls, man. He's double Berettas. Oh man, this was the fight. This was the fight. You started the dragon because you knew the enemy was not in position to contest. Yet the enemy contest. Sniff out the bullshit. Punish them. Game-winning situation. Cloud9 would punish. That's why they get through groups and shit. This is a big mistake from RNG. Very cocky gameplay. Very cocky gameplay. Bad sign. Bad sign from RNG. Right here. Imagine. John Lennon said imagine. This is what he meant. This is what he meant, John Lennon. Boom. Stun land. Standard time. Get in there. Get in on this action. Vulcan. Flash. R. Flash. Boom. Get in there. Would be wonderful. Would be beautiful. Nocturne ult. Very disappointed. Come on, CG. I want you to succeed. I predicted you to lose, but I don't care about my predictions. I want you to succeed. Come on. Okay, that's the hook. That's the one shot. Disaster. Disaster on every account. Disaster. Burning your flash as well. Huni? Huni and Lyra. The Korean duo Q from the American LCS. Wonderful. Ming gets a proc, is demolished for the first time. This 2v2 on bottom was quite a disaster. The fact you get hooked as Rakan smells like a bit of a choke here. Vulcan is choking. He is choking to the pressure. It's very normal to have this though. You know, the first time we faced RNG, my players were like, it's gonna be tough. But then we rewatched the game, I was like, guys, if we didn't do this mistake and this mistake, and we used this opportunity, we could have won. They're not inhumane. They are human. They are human. They make mistakes. You have to be there though. You have to be there and ready to punch when they leave an opening. And here, Clutch Gaming was not ready. And this could be a big motivator coming into the second time they face them, because you can review this and say, guys, we could win this. Look, it's possible for us to win this. CG could have done a play there. Good that they got the kill here on Renekton. Very positive. Punish the fact that he used flash earlier to kill Gnar. very, very good to use the fact that Lee Sin was showing on bottom side. Now dive happens. They did the Herald. This is the play that RNG was waiting for. TP of Huni. Let's predict how this ends. You see that Ming doesn't have a lot of HP. He can use a combination, can't dive the tower too much. Uzi has the ult damage. This looks like a good situation, but Cody's son got hooked. That was the only reason this looked close. Honestly, RNG are not in a good state here to dive because I think Kale kind of sucks at diving. Let's see this kick. What the hell? Don't throw fishes at me. Huh? Oh! I didn't charge my phone. Shit.
You have 10 minutes.
I have 10 minutes? Sorry, guys. Whoa. Okay. So they defended the dive, but it was still successful in the sense that Huni still used TP. And sorry, I just need to evolve my Pokemon. So it was a community day today. If you evolve it today, then he gets a special attack. So I need to do that. I have 10 more minutes. I apologize. With the game playing, a lane swap. Clutch Gaming have no Rift Herald to go to. I'm sure they are completely lost in what to do next. TP situation is quite equal. Damonte and Jaho both have TP. CG should look to make plays on both sides of the map. They should use the fact that still Syndra will have full mid prio. That's the big winning situation here for CG. They have mid prio, so they can have some initiative when they make a play. But right now the map is divided, so not much is gonna happen. RNG is gonna look to push bottom, and CG is gonna look to push top. Right now tempo is rather even. Rift Herald gets channeled. Honestly, I thought for some reason that RNG took Rift Herald. I had this memory of Lee Sin punching a Rift, but it was in fact Klid from the last game that took Herald. So my bad for disrespecting CG and their capability of taking Rift Herald. They took it when the dive on bottom happened. And I was talking about how RNG, most likely they lose out on the play because Renekton died on the top situation and they got Herald. But RNG had to force on bottom. It was the only play that they could have done there. So it's a 50-50 situation. I think it was in the end fine for CG. They lost an RTP, which is very important. Bottom tower dies. Gold 1k ahead. This is the CS lead that Uzi has. Uzi got all this gold on bottom. He's super happy. Let's look here on my shinies. Shiny Trapinch. Evolve 1. CG are going with their bot lane into mid. I don't know if it's correct. I think Syndra in mid lane is just better, but they just want to play away from their TP, I guess. Play 1-1-3 with playing away from Syndra. Syndra should be fine onto the Renekton, but if she gets ganked, she might be in trouble. That's the danger of the situation. But let's see how it goes. 1v1 Syndra should still be fine. She has losing Echo, wins against Kayle, wins against Renekton. But I think maybe RNG has some opportunity now to get mid prio. When he's on mid lane, 4-1, they're preparing for Cloud Drake. Syndra's gonna push bottom. Not that bad play here from CG. They're using mid prio and the fact that Huni could be there first. Oh, Kayle ultimate. Oh, this is terrible. They are committing on Blitzcrank and they are forgetting that Kayle has ultimate here. Full commitment here. Vulcan is using his very important ult and Blitzcrank survives and Huni gets straight up one-shotted. He gets silenced. W of Renekton, CC'd. He gets fucking destroyed. Look at that. Xayah. Wow. Lang, very clean Renekton mechanic there. Not missing any damage. Cancelling autos. Renekton mechanics are not that crazy. Oh! Get that double buff, baby. Okay. I just need to evolve one more Pokemon. I am so sorry. One more. Uno más, por favor. Okay, so the fight just started horribly. CG have a better position. There's no need for them to force here. They need to wait for Syndra, because Syndra is not in position. They could easily let Syndra clear the bottom wave and then walk into this space. RNG would have to face check, but they're fighting in a position where CG is fighting in their vision. So always here, I was praising CG that they were first in the situation. If you have prio here, it means that you are first in this space. You see the space I'm hovering with my mouse? Right here, this is the space you're controlling. You're not controlling this space. RNG, clear the vision here, and CG are fighting in RNG space. Here, where Vulcan is positioned, this is the space they're controlling. This is where RNG is going to face check. But Lucian lost the position. Lucian went back into mid lane for some reason. So here, Lucian could be first. Lucian is choking here. Lucian could have been with his team, knocked in his position because ult on. Lucian is coming in now. Syndra wanted to show on bottom wave, and they are committing on Blitzcrank. This is just too desperate. Karsa trading 1-for-1. Who cares? God bless him. Give kill to Uzi. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm done with the evolving. We got a replay of this fight. Oi. Yeah, so we spoke about the mistake of CG here. The fact that they got mid prio was the hardest part in preparation for this Drake. Now the scary part is if Uzi gets too far ahead on items, I think CG cannot recover. You don't recover against Uzi when he's ahead on items. They don't have a composition that has enough tools to kill a Xayah through a Kayle ultimate. So this is a rough one. Huni maybe can still find some opportunities in split, but the fact that he died there and picked up a couple of kills is going to change the matchup a bit. Nocturne still has a global. Syndra's power spike is also quickly forgotten now because she didn't get anything from this Luden's Echo fight power spike. So to summarize so far, bot lane, RNG's bot lane were dominating the entire lane phase. Level 1 we saw a trade from CG, but after that, nothing. CG had Prio on mid lane the entire game. Xiaohu inted and gave Damonte a kill, but I don't think that changes the matchup. I'm not sold on Kayle into Syndra. I think it's very greedy. I think it's very disrespectful. RNG's draft is very disrespectful on a lot of levels. RNG managed to find a kill with Lee Sin Renekton onto the Gnar, which is very positive. Excuse me, that was a burp. That was another one. RNG walking up with the hook, getting one hit off of this lonely creep. Bottom wave needs to be caught. But Syndra's here in midway because she wants to contest the Prio. Nara's in position, Nara's in the pit. Nara's out of the pit. But Syndra's... This is a rough one here. If CG don't get Prio on this wave, it means that bottom wave will most likely be lost. So you see the bottom wave is stacking, it's gonna slowly bounce back, and they are losing a lot of CS, and RNG is gonna be able to catch that soon. Ming is playing very greedy here. Stun is landing on Uzi. Uzi-I. It's Uzi-I, by the way. Bottom wave bounced already with the waves, with how they changed in a very recent patch. Not recent patch, but like maybe a year or two ago. The waves bounce a bit differently. They don't need to crash into the tower to bounce. It looks like it bounces. Honestly, maybe it's too slow pushing. Maybe I'm talking complete garbage now. I didn't sleep a lot this night. And now they're catching bottom. Yeah, maybe I'm talking shit. It's so hard to judge when I don't see the wave, man. I don't know what's happening down there. I didn't know the size of the wave. I don't know. So just forgive me for bringing it up. Nevertheless, usually if your whole team rotates into mid, you want to get something out of it. Huni was around mid lane. Syndra was around mid lane. Nocturne has a pretty much global presence when he's in Fog. And CG didn't manage to get any Prio in mid lane. One item advantage now on the Xayah. That's a 1.6k gold lead. 1.5. Kayle on bottom. Scaling definitely on RNG's side. They have Kayle. No questions asked. Vulcan. Playing a very Choky-esque game. RNG just grinding out. They seem way more confident in how they're contesting mid lane, and CG don't give the vibe off that they have any idea of what they should look for. They should look for picks, they should look for opportunities to engage, they should look to suffocate space, and Vulcan should look to make catches. But those windows are quickly closing. Oh, that's a hook, Lyra blocks it. Those windows are quickly closing because Xayah is getting more and more fed. Finding picks against Kayle might be very difficult. RNG is using the range advantage now with the rapid fire. They're gonna look to hit. That's a flash. Damonte flash too. Uzi is making use of his range. Look for the rapid fire hit on the Lucian. Renekton's coming in. Drake spawning again. CG now with a repeat. Better position on the dragon. How will they execute on this? Because CG can definitely get a free Drake here if they execute properly. They need to understand that they contest this space and not walk into this space. The way in for RNG is if they land a hook, if they land something of the sorts. Huni is losing his mega, so the window to fight is quickly closing. Huni is looking, he's sniffing, and his mega's out. RNG is now just looking to... So this is terrible. Very indecisive here from CG. Lucian shows. Look at Lucian position. Lucian position reveals everything. Here, the moment Lucian shows, we're like, we don't have to give a fuck. We can just face check. Here, they could have been on Drake already. They could have been hitting it. They could have been in position to engage. If this wave crashes, after doing Drake, they can look to find an engage. Look to pressure if enemy pushes next mid tower. Most likely you lose top tower if RNG push and then make a rotation. The argument could also be made that the Drake is useless and you don't need the Cloud Drake, but CG made the movement where they committed into the Drake. The moment you move into this space and you give up the next mid prior, you need to do the Drake and then step in. So Here, CG is not doing anything. Lucian is showing, RNG got prio, and then they're rushing here at the enemy team. Huni jumped over. Lucian being here is a bit of a problem. I guess RNG's composition don't really have the best tools to face check. So CG, if they are taking this into consideration, what they did is completely fine. RNG is going to walk into top and trade top tower for Cloud Drake. That's alright. You know, I was talking about how they can face check because Lucian is showing, but it is fair that RNG don't have the best tools to face check. So I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong here. Happy to admit. But most of the time, Lucian position I would consider is a basic mistake that worked in this scenario. Because most of the time you want to have Lucian in the right position, you want to start the dragon, and then you want to chase the enemy if they try to commit further down mid lane. And then after, on the next mid wave, you can rotate top and deny. But here, the situation played out exactly the same anyway. CG got the Drake, they traded for top tower and losing some CS. You could argue if that's worth it because Cloud Drake is, yeah, not that amazing. Cloud Drake is the next dragon as well, no mountains spawning. Sad pandas across the board. Syndra now on another power spike, spell penetration power spike. If Kayle keeps ult for Syndra ult, all should be well. So we'll have to pay attention to that. There are many tools here to deny Syndra ult damage. And it's difficult for Syndra to walk up and poke, especially because she has no flash. She traded earlier with Blitzcrank, and her flash is quite important. Okay. Now my voice is quickly dying on me, but I'm so fucking hyped. I love Worlds. I love Worlds so much. So CG's issue here is, I think they're kind of choking. Still, they had that opportunity to go, and now they're kind of behind. All hands on deck for RNG. They get to play this game however they want now. Kayle is quite strong. RNG's weakness is that they don't have many tools to face check. Vulcan gets out. Lyra doesn't get in range for Vulcan to E him, which is quite hilarious. Vulcan no W now. Blitzcrank with this item is quite crazy. What's his name? This item. This item that procs when you ult. Because the ult cooldown is very low. It matches the cooldown. Oh! The matches the cooldown of the Blitzcrank ult because it's so low, so you can constantly rotate it. It's quite nice. It's a strong item. You can proc it constantly for Xayah. Xayah is super far ahead. Super far ahead, 60 CS ahead. CG have shared a lot of creeps in mid lane. Huni should lose the 1v1. He should look to poke the Renekton, but if Renekton gets to all-in, of course he's going to win. Nocturne can hover, so it's hard for Renekton to all-in, because of course Nocturne can always come and join the fight. Same in topside. I think that's the way you have to play. CG need to look to find some picks, use the fact that they have TPs, but honestly RNG can match. The big problem here is that RNG have mid prio. They can take the mid prio, hover into topside with Nashor on. Nocturne doesn't have a lot of options to ult into bottom. Because if he ults into bottom, obviously Renekton is gonna stall. He's gonna kite them with a CDR, and then RNG can just start Nashor. Even though RNG don't have the greatest Nashor here because they don't have something that strong to tank. So maybe Blitzcrank should focus on itemizing some armor here so he can tank the Nashor. And maybe with some Kayle heals, he's going to be healthy, and then they can do Nash in case a Nocturne play onto bottom happens. But here, the big difference maker still, RNG is getting mid prio. They have been getting mid prio the entire game. Now we see CG pulling the trigger. I don't know if this is that good. It's working. It's working. Huni. So let's take a look here. What triggered this? So RNG are not getting spotted. Uzi is showing on a ward. Seems like CG are reading the play here. Lee Sin and Kayle are not showing on top wave. But then Kayle here shows on top wave. Is that what triggers the go? TP is tricky to do when Nocturnal is on. And then they go. They get a kill on Blitz. Uzi is kiting back. The fire is on. TP from behind. Vulcan. Oh! Yeah, Vulcan is hard choking this game. Hard choking this game. KO showed on top. They pulled the trigger. I enjoy the idea here. They got the kill on Blitz. Blitz no flash. They know that from before. Lyra survives with the stopwatch. The flash is a bit troll. Maybe he's in range of feathers. Is that why he's flashing? But I think it would be cool, no? He could walk away. Maybe not. Nevertheless, Vulcan hard chokes. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Lang with the ultimate comes down. Kick on the face of Cody's son. Oh. Okay. Look at Karsa. Look at Karsa. Boom. Geometry. Whoosh. 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 Cody's son, you had flash, brother. This is so predictable, bro. Cody's son had flash. NAAD carries some flash. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Nevertheless, Vulcan is inted pretty hard, but Kale ult is gonna come down, but they can still chunk him pretty well here, or at least they can keep the Rakan ult, you know, they can keep the combo, and they can just Syndra QE onto the spot, chunk the Renekton, force Kale ults, kite, snap, re-engage with Rakan ult, and win a fight. But here, expending a big resource like this for absolutely nothing. So here, probably I would suggest to keep the ult here. Keep the ult, start with the Syndra stun, kite this, poke this, keep the ult of Rakan. If Lee Sin commits, for example, boom, here you snap ult, boom, you go on Karsa. It's also a very good situation if he keeps the ultimate. He has flash on, maybe they can find an engage here onto Uzi with the flash. A good Rakan player is very scary with Rakan ult and flash on. It's a game changer. So here the fact that ult is used like this is an absolute disaster. Lyra is quite weak after ulting. If they kite this out and they poke the Renekton there, maybe they could find some opportunities. But CG played this fight very poorly. Good initiative there that they forced the fight when KO showed on top. It was one of the few opportunities that RNG has given this game. And CG took it, so I think it was a good start. But RNG ended up being ahead once again. TP is used on Shawel here, on Lang, so Nara's gonna be lonely on bottom unless Kale matches. Kale probably should win Nar 1v1. Kale is getting monstrous, and after the change where Kale power spikes on 11, much harder than 16, it's a big buff for her. And of course CG didn't manage to accomplish anything with the fact that Damonte had full prio in this matchup, which is normal. Not anything to flame for Jao. Jao almost got a solo kill. He died to the jungler later. He was playing the matchup quite well. It seemed like Syndra didn't have enough mana to do anything there. And what was different from what Jao did, he saw an opportunity to pressure. He knew that Syndra wants to base. He committed all in because he wants to punish the fact that Damonte wants to base. This is something that Nemesis didn't do last game. And this is something that the best mid laners are always going to do. Still, Nothing has changed about the conditions of the game. RNG are grouping around mid lane. Huni has the advantage of having TP. He's not using it. He's stacking on mid because RNG will have mid prio if he walks away, most likely. So he's just preparing for a fight. Vulcan has flash on. Is he going to redeem himself for what I would say is a terrible, terrible performance? Uzi with a big CS lead. CG have legit been sharing all the creeps in mid lane for the last 15 minutes. So it's definitely RNG farming more efficiently. And of course, Uzi is taking a lot of jungle as well. So let's take a look at this once again. Ming is strolling around. Vulcan with the EW. Ming with the flash. Good moves from Vulcan. Good initiative. Not using any cooldowns. I like it. Cody Sun now with his team. Better position on the Nashor. Bottom wave is disastrous, but no one's pressuring. RNG now know that the enemy team needs to start to force Nash because RNG is running it down mid lane. They're going to have a good position for a fight here. Syndra and Arakan should be in position to look for an engage. Here, Karta is going to look to sniff. He's going to look to sniff and look to Q someone to find the vision on the Nashor. He could potentially steal, but Lyra is level 13 because Karsa is giving all his jungle to Uzi. Uzi-I. RNG now are looking for the engage. CG are looking for the turn. They are committing on the Blitzcrank once again. Kale had ultimate on, but Kale is out of position. Kale here. Xiaohu is backing off. This is a mistake from Xiaohu. Why is he backing off here? He saw the Rakan ult was already on. He could have stayed in a position. He has stopwatch on as well. Here, Xiaohu backs off and Nocturne ult comes down and he's not in position to fight. Xiaohu is very out of position here. You can see here, what's he doing? What is he doing here? It's a big problem. They know that enemies on Nashor, they put vision on it, they know they need to be in a position to fight. You want Kale to be here, you want Kale to be here. It's completely fine for him to be in this area, but Kale is abandoning this fight. Blitzcrank dies for free. Well, not for free, they use the very important Rakan ultimate, as we always speak about it. Here, he doesn't need to ult. Here, it's a free W on Blitz. He can keep ult. Keep ult, and then he can look to flash. So let's see the continuation here of the fight. Kale still out of position. Huni with the ultimate. Flash onto Renekton. Not that beautiful. Uzi-I finding a lot of auto attacks here. Everyone's passing by. Look, they're walking past the blender. Uzi-I looking with the auto attack and snap ulti of Damonte onto Uzi. Uzi-I, boom. Look, he's snap ulting, but Uzi-I is not stunned, so he can just ult the damage. Red buff is ticking. Actually, it was the fire from the Blitzcrank ult, but who cares? Huni dies because after the flash onto the Renekton, nothing happened, and honestly, CG got really fucked here by Uzi-I. Boom. Cody-san gets zoned out. Here. He has no fucking attack speed. He fucking E-autoed. That's all Cody-san did here, and then ran away. Probably would die if he committed. But yeah, let's keep in mind that RNG is very far ahead. They're playing the fights better. This is, you know, a small mistake from RNG where Xiaohu was out of position, but it didn't seem to matter because CG went too desperately in here. Maybe what CG needed to look for after the initial engage is to look to start Nashor again. But no Nocturne ult, maybe it's hard to turn. Damonte, like here, they're just chasing by Uzi, and Uzi just fucking wins the fight with this move here. Committing on Renekton is just a big fucking mistake here. Flash onto the Renekton. They have no vision in this space here, and they're trying to contest space that they can't contest, because right now Xiaohu and Uzi is in position where they're contesting this area. CG is passing by, Uzi is walking in, completely confident. Perfect ult timing because maybe the Huni W could hit, and after one auto Q E, he manages ult, and Uzi is just so fucking clean, man. So fucking clean. What a monster, man. Us. Karsa with the Q. Karsa speaks great English. I was super impressed when I met him. Xiao as well speaks decent English. Xiaohu, when I watched him playing from behind, when I was watching him when I was in China, I was like, what the fuck, man? This is one of the best mechanical players I've seen, you know? Mechanically, Xiaohu is a monster, honestly. he could play any fucking champions. He was playing top lane against Jack Troll, and Jack Troll, I swear to God, his asshole was this big. Like it was a disaster. To be fair, Jack Troll is not the greatest in off-roll, but it was still fun to see. $10k gold lead. Looks like a quick goodbye here in this game. Still, RNG have a very free game ahead of themselves. They're gonna get the prio. Uzi's gonna base now for Infinity Edge. A Quicksilver Sash even. Whew. Go next. Cody Sound with the build of Optimists. I don't fucking pick Lucian for your AD against Uzi I. Like, you have to be ahead with Lucian. Can't be ahead of fucking Uzi I on bot lane. Yeah, fucking good luck. You're not even the best AD in your region. Like, just go next. Here, Vulcan, keep ult. After they commit here, Lyra doesn't need to commit first. And they can't walk into that space. Uzi I was just positioned too well. Oh! Cody, don't stare into the sun. Holy Ming. Ming is a monster, man. How hard can you spit on your enemies if you pick Blitzcrank into Lucian Rakan? That is nuts, man. Into Rakan it seems okay, but still, you're not supposed to land the hook on Rakan. It just shouldn't be the case. Oh, okay. Okay, Casa. Calm your testicles. Saved by the Kayle ult. 2 inhibs down. RNG base, go top. Game is finished. Bada bing, bada boom. So Clutch Gaming, no chance. No fucking way. There's no X factor. There's no oomph. No nothing. It's they're not gonna win a single game this group, honestly. RNG was so fucking disrespectful this game, unbelievably disrespectful, and they get away with it because they're just so much better, which is cool. RNG to play with the same level of cockiness, maybe they can get punished. Draft was cocky, a lot of things were cocky. Gameplay with how they contested, Kayle into Syndra, super cocky it seems. Maybe Kayle is just so fucking busted that you don't give a shit, just pick Kayle. We saw 2 games of Worlds already, 2 games of Kayle. Maybe Kayle is just OP, could be the case. Nevertheless, Syndra couldn't use her prio for anything. You can come in, there's no problem. Game is finished. Clutch Gaming getting destroyed. And also on top of that, you know, Renekton Lee Sin doesn't seem to be like the craziest 2v2. They managed to get a kill on Gnar, so maybe I underrated it a tad bit. There was Dragon Contestation as well that RNG did that was super disrespectful. But here RNG just need to wait for the waves. Bottom wave is crashing, 2 super creeps, 1 super creep down mid lane, second one is coming. RNG can slowly just walk up, boom. They don't have to be scared. No damage output here from Cody Sun, he doesn't do anything. Also, kick in the forehead of Damonte. This is an absolute slaughter. Clutch Gaming gets smacked. Clutch Gaming, I'm not gonna look at your games unless it's like top Reddit and you made a crazy upset. Honestly, all of your games, I'm not gonna watch. Just a waste of time. I'm gonna watch the drafts. If you do something crazy in the draft, maybe I'll watch it, but no way I'm gonna continue. Pink keyboard, RNG, disrespectful in their play, but also a lot of class. You saw Ming doing some crazy hooks. Uzi, team fighting was next fucking level, man. Next fucking level team fighting. Covered up for Jaho's mistake. Disrespectful play, but RNG just warming up to the stage. So that was game 2 of the World Championship. Let's continue. That was the entire Group C. We saw some action. SKT looks like the clear favorite still. Nothing has changed. Wonderful game. I liked it. Let's go next.